It is January 20th, 2020, and this is your Monday Microdose. Welcome back to the Monday Microdose, the amuse-bouche of adventuring. One of the goals, first of all, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. It means a lot. And if you know anyone that you think may enjoy this content, please share it with them. My goal is to do one of these every week until I run out of things to talk about. So if you have any ideas or suggestions on what you might like to talk about, put them in the comments below, and I will endeavor to do just that. I want to follow up a little bit on what I talked about in the last video, which was, as we get a little older, and it isn't exclusive to that, but certainly as we get a little older, one of the things that can kind of keep us from being mobile and moving is flexibility. And I talked about hamstring flexibility in the last video, and I want to talk about hip flexibility in this video, specifically squatting. We were born squatting, right? I mean, you look at any toddler. But as we get older and we sit in chairs and we stop, and then, our hips can lock up, and it kind of prevents us from doing that. And I've had many customers over the years, tell me that they just have a harder and harder time swinging their leg over the bike. And generally, it may not exclusively be caused by this, but certainly having tight hips, doesn't help. So one of the things that I do is I just periodically, if I'm sitting around watching TV and there's a break, a commercial maybe, if anybody still watches network television, I get out of my chair and I squat. I try to sit in a squatted position for the length of that commercial maybe. Feet shoulder width apart, heels on the deck. You want your feet out just a little bit, and then push your butt back like you're sitting in a chair and just go down as far as you can. If you can go all the way down, then you can actually sometimes put your elbows in the middle to kind of keep your knees out, because you don't want your knees falling in. And that does wonders for just keeping your hips loose. When I went home for the holidays, it's about a 3.5 hour drive, and I, picked a couple of long podcasts to listen to while I was driving, and one of them was Tim Ferriss. And Tim had Dr. Peter Attia, who's been around. He's done, a number of podcasts. And Peter Attia is working on something that he calls the Centenarian Olympics. And I think that it's, the number of athletes in the Centenarian Olympics are going to be one. He's setting it up for him. And what he wants to do, as I take a sip of my delicious Tinker coffee, is if you think about a toddler running toward you and where their head is in relation to your body, in order to not sustain damage, you need to be able to squat down and pick that toddler up. And his goal is to not only, he did it with his children, and his goal is to not only be able to do it with his grandchildren, but his great-grandchildren. Lofty, but good goal to have. So what my suggestion to you, if I can be so bold as to make a suggestion, is to, if you have issues with your hips, is just go back to trying to do some squats. And maybe they're just body weight squats. In fact, they could just be body weight squats. Until you get to the point where you've got the flexibility where you can maybe go down and hold that position for, 30 seconds or something like that. I think it will do wonders for your hip flexibility and just your mobility in general. And it'll certainly make getting on and off the bike less difficult. Especially if you think about the bikes that finger quotes, we ride, a lot of times there's luggage on these bikes. So it's not just a cut and dry thing where all you have to do is just kind of swing your leg over. You know, there's some things you have to avoid. So that's my message for today is we got to squat. We've got to squat. And if you really get, and, you know, some of you may already do this, but if you really get to the point where, you know, you're doing it often, you know, add a little bit of weight to that. Again, think about how much a toddler weighs, 35, 40 pounds. I don't know. You know, a 35-pound kettlebell, what they call a goblet squat. Good for you. And will keep us mobile into our golden years. That's my message for today. Again, thanks for watching. Suggestions are always welcome. Constructive criticism, always welcome. And my goal is to also write more. I've been trying to write more, and thepsychicderailer.com is where my blog is located. At the bottom of the page, of the homepage on the website, there's a way to sign up for my emails, which I don't send out a lot, but every time I do write a blog post, it does go out in email form as well. So again, thank you for watching. It really means a lot. You guys have been subscribing at a good, healthy clip, and it makes me feel good that the stuff that I'm talking about you find valuable. Until next time, be nice, work hard, ride bikes, do squats. Play music when you can. I'll talk to you soon.